Hey, Brew. Oh, hey, Brew.
What happened, mate? What's going on?
I'm just waiting for a mate.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
I'm beached ears.
Bowling till I die, bowling when I cry, bowling when I was born, bowling when I die.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
Down, Bradbury is going to come through and win gold!
Hit my scooter outside the dairy, next minute.
Flamin' mongrel, flamin' drug dealer, flamin' menace, flamin' bargain.
The Antipodean
Poddy. Aussie and Kiwi expats, your boys are back. Here we are doing another episode. This time we've got a special guest with us, Nicole from Hyde Seek Run Club. We will do a proper introduction in a minute, but boys, tell us what's happening. I know you got down to the NRL Grand Final party run by Aussies in London on the weekend. How was it?
How much do you remember, Barry? Just
No, I think I was in pretty good form.
You were there, you were.
The voice got a little bit slower towards the end. But yeah, no, it was a good day, wasn't it?
Fantastic day.
Packed.
Yeah.
There were so many people down there.
Yeah. I do sit there with that venue and I think to myself, if there's a fire,
yeah.
I mean,
oh, yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter how many escape routes you've got, I mean, exits. Something's going wrong there. Yeah, no.
There's more chance of setting a record on one of the boxing machines there than there is getting out for a fight.
And if I'm going down swinging.
100%. There must be 20 boxing machines there.
Yeah, I know. It's like you're running the gauntlet every single time. You just never know what's coming. But it's it's good. It was great. I think we've had probably about 900 through the doors there.
Yeah.
Still haven't beaten the AFL. By a country mile, the AFL beat us again.
Oh, mate, but Melbourneites just love Aussie rules football, don't they? Like they'll turn out for it. It doesn't matter what time of year, what time of day. Like, you look at the crowds back home in Australia, and it's 100,000 people every weekend to have a pie and a beer at the footy. So, no real surprise there. NRL fans are more armchair fans. Let's say that.
Do you reckon it stung? Do you reckon it stung the people from Melbourne that Brisbane took out the took it?
Twice.
Well, I mean,
is it twice now?
Well, not twice at Brisbane Lions and the
Broncos.
Yeah.
And the women's NRL took it out as well.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, they got the three.
Who won the A-League? Does anyone know?
I haven't watched a game of A-League in 10
New Zealand were going well a couple of years back.
They may have won it last year, did they? I think we need more facts.
I honestly haven't watched a game of rugby union or A-League since I left Australia.
Bullet points. Yeah. But no, it was good. We did some interviews, which are now starting to be on the socials.
Yeah, plenty of good content there, eh? It was very coherent.
Yeah.
And it's good in the lead up because, like, the Kangaroos, the Aussie team, is coming down.
Yes.
25th of October is the first test at Wembley Stadium.
Very excited for that.
Is it the 25th of October?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
It is.
It's sooner than later.
It is, so I'm going to be away.
2 weeks time.
Yeah. I'm going to be away, unfortunately, and then they've got the games in Liverpool and Leeds the following weeks after that. But it should be pretty awesome.
Oh, that's
good for the sport in the UK.
Yeah, up north it's already sold out.
Yeah,
they sold out really early on.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, someone told me they weren't far from selling. It's at Wembley, right?
Yeah.
No, Wembley's still got a fair few.
No, but someone was telling me that. Like, I thought that I even remember. Where did I go watch the semi-final? And there was the World Cup semi-final. I think.
Oh yeah. That was what Samara in England. Yeah.
I thought it was on the 1st of November, and that's why I was nervous because we've got your.
Is that not the Union?
Oh, that might be the Union. Yeah.
No.
Who?
Wallabies.
The Kangaroos are 25th because I'm out of town on the 24th. I'm going to the Netherlands.
Nice.
To the Dutch equivalent of Disneyland.
Yeah. Is that a family trip or that's a work trip?
It's called Efteling. So I have no idea. No idea what's there. It's I think there's the missus has seen a bit on social media, keen to go see it. So unfortunately, I'll be missing the rugby league.
You're not going to do a stopover at Munich just to pay your respects.
No, mate. Been there plenty of times, and I mean, before we segue onto that, I know you want to talk about Oktoberfest a little bit. While you guys were at the NRL Grand Final, I was coaching an under-8s girls football team, and let me tell you. It's aging me in dog years. So, super stressful, very, but I'm enjoying it, but, and the girls are improving a lot. So,
I think the behaviour was probably very similar.
Yeah.
The behaviour.
Yeah. Well, I've seen some of those parents on the sideline.
Not mine, but many other people's behaviour.
To be honest, from all reports, girls football is a little bit more restrained, but the boys' football is where the parents and coaches kind of get into it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like week 1, we were told there were coaches offering each other out in the car parks. So, in the competitive world of UK football, everyone's trying to get to the top, get to the Premier League, and it starts young. It starts young.
Have you ever had a parent try and give you coaching critique, like a bit of critique on the sideline, or
do you think that's happened, Jimmy?
If I was there,
I mean, intimidated.
Yeah. I think that as I said, I think everyone's all the parents are super encouraging, and that they at this age it's just about the girls having fun. So there's not really anything competitive about it. But we did come up against a very strong side a couple of weeks ago, and we lost 27-0. That one little girl was basically Lionel Messi reincarnated as an 8-year-old girl. She was a freak. There was another girl who I used to coach a couple of years ago, and I saw her there, and she was good because she was so much better than the other girls that I had to teach her to kick left-footed, and she mastered it within like one session. She was literally curling at top bins as an 8-year-old, so it was insane. I've never seen 8-year-olds that good at anything, let alone football. So
when
real eye opener.
When you were down, losing, what was your halftime speech to really get through that?
Yeah, I mean it's just about keeping them focused, isn't it? And that's the biggest challenge. I did have a football in my hand the whole game, the full 40 minutes, which was essentially a stress ball. Because Jimmy, you know better than anyone that I'm quite a competitive person, and
he is. Yeah.
Losing hurts.
I was chatting to someone. One of my questions when we were interviewing people, because I'm quite passionate about this, is that at what age does the halftime oranges stop? Because
well, that's a good point, mate. Because I haven't started him yet because I think it's an Aussie thing. So no one said anything. Well, okay.
Well, when I was playing rugby and stuff, there's half-time oranges and stuff there.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah.
You have to have them.
I haven't seen it over here, so I thought it might have been an Australian.
I didn't know that was.
So yeah, just in case the listeners don't know who that voice from the side was, that's Mooch, our producer, we'll call him, and he's confirmed that it is a thing here in the UK. So maybe I'll have to get the oranges and knife out on Saturday.
It's like a rite of passage for a parent, right?
Yeah,
you've got to be in there on a Saturday morning cutting oranges.
I think if there was oranges, I think there's a correlation between 27-0 and no oranges. I think it would have been 14-0 if there was a bit of vitamin C.
The game on Sunday, while you guys were enjoying the GF, it was 9-0. So that's a marked improvement. That's essentially 3 times better than what they were.
No oranges on Sunday.
Look, the training sessions are working. So
exactly.
But I must digress. Jimmy, Oktoberfest, you were there at the Stoke Travel site. I've obviously been there a couple of years prior. How did you find it, mate?
My first thing to say is that those tents, I struggled to fit in them. So I don't know what happened with you and how that was. It was good.
Just to say, I think were you in a double tent? So the tents that we had were 2 to a tent.
Well, I got a VIP one, but I tested out the my mates. My mates were staying in the 2-person, and I went checked it out. And I was like, this is debaucherous. But then seeing them pack up these things, I was like, oh my god! But they know how to throw a party. Real hospitable to be Stoke Travel. I'm sure we'll have a representative at some point. But they were. It is what it is. Like you go there camping. We grew up camping. I grew up camping, so I don't really have a fuss about it. But maybe the plethora of Americans they have over, I don't think that. I've never thought I'd see as many Americans. I thought it was going to be mainly Aussies and Kiwis,
mate.
In the Stoke Travel.
Camp, so I woke up on the Saturday. I was there, and I could hear all these American voices, and it was really confusing because the Friday had been a very large night. And I'm like, where are they coming from? And they're all just gathered around the toilet blocks, just brushing their teeth because. That's all I saw them do. Everyone just brushing their teeth in these big herds of people around.
I brushed my teeth for about 4 days.
Yeah. It's
brother.
We had practiced that before.
That's sensational timing.
That's great. I think we should just cancel it now.
An episode done.
That's the longest we need.
So I mean, it's a big site, and I think in terms of safety concerns, I don't know if you met the security guys, but They are blokes. I kind of was speaking to a few of them when I was there. They are blokes not to be messed with.
100%.
They have some battle scars. They have seen some stuff.
Well, it's interesting you say this. I can't really remember crazy amounts. I got told this by a guy Blake, but there was a guy apparently at our campsite and he got kicked out and sent home. And the story goes, when Blake saw him, he's like, mate, his face is black and blue. And what this guy done is British lad, obviously a very good traveller. He went up to the Munich police, who also are not to be trifled with. They've seen it all. They hate all the tourists. And he went up and he goes, apologise for the war to a group of the, and then they beat him up and they said, you're on the next flight out.
Wow.
It's like, so
play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
I was like, what do you expect to happen? So I didn't go that far, but I had a great time.
Was that your first time, or you've done?
No, I've been 3 or 4 times, I think. I've done all like the Airbnbs and stuff, and you always have a great time. But I mean, it's credit to Stoke Travel. Paid for my flights out there, no accommodation. I still managed to go through, I think, about 800 euros on beer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Because you just go like you get so generous, like they come over, they bring you steins, and that's just
Well, what's a stein worth these days?
It was like 15, 16.
Yeah, and then you round up with the tip. So I mean, when the first time I went, 2016, I think it was 11 euros with a tip.
Yeah.
And it's all cash, right?
It's all cash.
Yeah.
So
it's
I haven't been yet, but it is on the bucket list.
Nicole, you've got to.
Oh my
book
God.
the plane ticket.
Get the PowerPoint presentation up.
I've seen the videos because you have to like snag a table and like people have to run in at like 9 a.m. and it's literally like every man for himself.
Well, it's also like when I was talking to Brad today, we were having a pint, and when he was talking about he's been going for like 15 years, and you know the Brad Ladd, yeah.
Were you with him today?
That was the joke I said to him. I heard a lot about
I
you.
missed
I wonder why.
You thought I was saying yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Oh, you were there?
Yeah. So,
makes sense.
Yeah. And then, they go back, because they make so much money, they go back every year. And he was like, you get to know the waiters or the servers and stuff, and they sort you out as well. If you go with someone who doesn't know what they're doing, if I was to go to someone like Jared, who's been, 7, 8 times? 5, 6, yeah. 5, 6.
So, I mean, I do think, it depends. You've got to have a good crew. That's one of the things that I think, I think the first time I went was with Jay, friend of the show. And I think that's where we really cemented our friendship. We've been mates for 11 years now, but we were up on tables singing and dancing and all that kind of stuff, and like that's what it's all about. I think there's you can experience it many different ways. But yeah, I think getting the right crew, getting in early, making sure you're getting a table at one of the good tents is pivotal. If you get there in mid-afternoon, you got no chance.
Mental.
So it can be a bit crazy.
Before we segue, I'd love everyone's opinion on this. Before we segue and we get onto Nicole, there was one yarn I heard from it. There was a table of Aussies, and they were dancing and stuff on one table. And there's a table of Americans on the one next, and they were sort of like sitting down and stuff. The Aussies sitting up there dancing, standing up, having a great time. And one of the American girls has like shoved one of the girls off the table. That's not, It's
not cricket.
It's not etiquette. It's not cricket. Anyway, so then they start going at each other and start, sitting there giving it the big ones. The American lads are giving it the big ones. The Aussie guys are like, let's go, all this and that. Bit of animosity between the two. Security come over. The Aussies and Kiwis get kicked out, right? And they're all like, whatever. We'll cut our losses. But as they're leaving, one of the American guys goes and blows them a kiss as they're leaving, and then they were like, blood's boiling. They were like, nah.
It's all red.
Yeah, it's all red. I was going, that would just grind my gears.
Yeah.
Especially as they didn't instigate it. But let's move on. We had a great time. So we'll introduce Nicole. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. I actually don't remember where we met. I can't recall that. But it was some years ago. It's one of those things, I think, just circles and just come together. And you've been in London how long now?
Almost 3 years. So January will mark 3 years.
No, awesome.
And I have been counting.
Got that. Yeah. Especially when you got that visa extension and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Awesome. Are you still going to You're going to extend that, or?
Yeah, thankfully. So transitioning to work sponsored, which is great.
Awesome.
So,
perfect.
Yeah.
And what prompted the move over here in the first place?
Oh, that's a good question. So I moved January 2023, and I mean, 2022 was my last year at university. I did international relations and marketing, and I kept thinking to myself, I mean, originally from Perth as well, so I sort of felt like I knew the place like the back of my hand. There's one street there that's called St. George's Terrace, and I was doing a couple of internships in my last year. And I was like, I don't want this to be the rest of my life, walking down this one street. And yeah, I started to think about what I wanted to do next. And I did want to move overseas, and I think that was for like a sense of, I think, independence, but then also just to see the world, and London was the place that came to mind. I don't know why, it just did. But yeah, and then I think the story sort of goes that I pretty much wanted a job. I mean, one of my internships that I did do was at the US consulate, and that was a public diplomacy role, and that was very much like how the government interacts with different people and businesses and not-for-profit organisations and things like that. And that was quite pivotal for me, because I realised I'd love to get that job, but do it for the Aussies in London. And it just so happened that I remember it really clearly, it was like my last, before I started my last set of exams, I followed what was called the Australia UK Chamber of Commerce on LinkedIn, and I saw a job go up. And I read the job description, and I was like, this is everything I love about my internship. If this doesn't have my name written all over it, I don't know what does. So, I mean, I was 21 at the time, and I was like, I'll just give it a crack. What's the worst that could happen? And they read through the application. They asked me for an interview. I was pretty nervous about it, just because my background was literally just university and a handful of internships here and there. Like, I was still quite young. And I think that passion maybe came through out of that. And they sort of said, well, when can you come over? Which was great. And I had done a little bit of research. So I thought I'd start off on the youth mobility visa, which at the time was 2 years as well. And I think the reason behind that as well is because you're not locked in. And so, because you don't know when you're moving halfway across the world what it's going to be like. And so I was like, oh yeah, go on that and see what happens. And yeah.
Awesome. So I'm just connecting the dots here. So you host the Young Professional event at the
Australia House.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I've seen them. I should go to one of them.
You
but I'm young enough these days, though.
No.
No. Everyone's welcome.
Mate, they are awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Now I just connected those dots as you were talking. So that's awesome. So I guess the Jimmy, back to you. I think you've got a couple of other questions.
Yeah. Well, I guess the main one there is like we may as well touch on this with like the young professionals, and other things that you've done. Because one of the reasons we wanted you on the podcast was just, just seeing how much you've done for obviously the community, Aussies in London, Kiwis in London, everything like that. But then you've also got Hyde Seek Run Club, which is one of your crowning achievements.
It was an accident.
Just stumbled across it.
Yeah.
But I guess, we want to hear what you've got to talk about. So what exactly is Hyde Seek Run Club?
Yeah. I mean, it is a run club.
Story checks out.
Yeah. So Hyde Seek Run Club, I mean, it's in the name. So we start at Hyde Park. We meet every Saturday at 10 a.m. And it's literally whoever rocks up will go for a 5-kilometre run within the vicinity of Hyde Park. So every week is a different route, and we always finish up at a cafe as well. And I think it's been such an amazing way to just meet new people, explore London as well. I mean, I started it not being a runner, and it was actually a bit of an accident, like I said before, an accident of how I started it. So if I think back to when I first moved to London, I think like 6 months in, I just really wanted to sort of start netball was a big part of my life back in Perth. And I think, I really wanted to sort of just get a group of girls at the time together where I'd see on a consistent basis, like just to make friends. And I've been in the Aussies in London page for a while as well, which I think is such a great platform. And I think it's, whether or not you're moving to London and have questions to ask beforehand, or just wanting to make friends, or whatever it might be. But I sort of posted on there and I was like, hey guys, my name's Nicole. I've been here for 6 months. I'm thinking about starting a netball team. At Battersea Park as well, which apparently Pear Tree Cafe is quite appealing to a few people.
Yeah, I have been there actually.
Prime real estate.
No, it is. And so I posted that, and there was I got at least 100 messages.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
And from guys and girls, and at the same time, I had also just started running. I was never a runner in Perth. It was way too hot for me. I think the max I'd ever run was 2 kilometres my whole life. But I think when I moved to London, it was just such a nice way to see the city as well. And I had done this one run with my friend, and we'd started in Hyde Park and we'd gone to Buckingham Palace, Big Ben. We crossed the river to see the London Eye, and I was never a Strava person. So, but I wanted to go back and just see how long I had run. And it was 5Ks. And I was like, and I think just it made me want to keep running. And
scenery.
See London. Yeah. So that was happening. Then I had all these people messaging me for a netball team, and you can only have 10 to a team. So I got my 10, chose 10 people, don't know how.
Sounds like when Barry was setting up the podcast and he was very cutthroat about who was.
Well, the girls...
It was not that cutthroat.
Yeah. Till this day, the girls that were in the original team were like, why did you choose me? And I was just like, I don't know.
Sounds like you could have opened up your own league.
There's a market for it.
But it was, I think it was the girls that had obviously done like, hey, this is me, this is what I enjoy. So they gave me a bit of background.
Right, okay.
But yeah, so I went back to everybody else and I was like, hey, sorry, the team's filled, but I'm potentially thinking about starting a run club. Would you be interested? And so then I made a Facebook Messenger chat with all those people. It took me so long to like put them all into one group chat. And I was like, this is the first run. We meet at the Lodge Cafe at Hyde Park. I wasn't sure if anyone was going to come. And I banked on one friend coming, so at least I wasn't alone. But there was probably like 15 people at the first run that turned up. And 15 people. We ran her out, and that was it. And I think the next time we did it, I took some photos, made an Instagram account for it, and people just started to bring friends of friends.
Okay.
And I think that was something, I don't know, quite special. Like you just see that. So
that growth. Just so what kind of pace are you guys setting? Because me and Baz are on a health kick, and maybe we should get down and have a go too.
I love the idea of going down. I think this
I've
very
heard that you're
important.
more of a stepmaster man myself.
I don't
Look,
mind
we're two old rugby league war horses, mate. We got injuries every day, so we just need to make sure it's within our our capabilities.
I do want to record when I have been down there.
Jimmy's hosted one before for me. I was.
Where's this going?
We're going to talk about the pace setting here for a second, but when I go down, I've never seen Nicole run because Nicole's sitting there on the bike riding.
Oh my god! I have been cheating this year.
So you're the pace setter on a bike up front.
I was on a line bike.
She's doing the same when there was one person there. She's just riding along the line bike.
This is what I mean. I'm not a runner.
It's like dodgeball. Stop slacking, chubber. I'm like, but when Nicole reached out, she's like, "Can you host one? I've got no one." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm brutally hungover." And I go there. The warm up must have been shock. I'm like, "Look, guys, I'm hungover as, but let's just crack on with this." We sorted out a cafe that was in full of where I was living at the time, so I could just get home straight away. Anyway, so then I'm just like I'm running, but when I'm running, I'm just sitting there. The concept is to meet people, socialise, which Nicole sets up fantastically. And I'm just sitting there. One of the girls runs up behind me. She goes, "Jimmy, slow down." And I look behind, and I've lost half the run.
And I mean, I wouldn't have thought you were much of a runner, mate.
No, I'm not. I'm shocking. But I didn't want.
It was the adrenaline.
It was. Yeah, I was like, I need to set something. But I was just sitting there, didn't want to talk to her because I was so hungover. And there's this lovely Spanish girl, Chris, I think. Yeah. And she's come up and when I'm sober, when I'm sitting there not fatigued at all, I can hardly speak English because I just suck at it. She's sitting there running. She's obviously fit as. She ran to the run club and then she's running this as well. And she's talking to me, thick Spanish accent. I'm trying to listen to what she's saying, trying to talk. She's going, "What'd you say?"
You're trying to live.
I'm trying to repeat myself. A bit of a language barrier. I'm like, screw this. I'm running.
No, often I'll like put in headphones, just sometimes because I can't.
When
I don't want to talk to people.
Is that not totally against? So you're on a line bike and you're wearing headphones. So you haven't actually run since you got here.
It's the most sociable social club there is in London.
I'm starting to see plot holes here.
No, it's because everyone keeps talking to me and I'm like, I can't breathe. Talk to me at the end.
Yeah.
When I did run, not run it, but run, and then I heard a voice to my right and goes, "Jimmy, smile." Nicole's just sitting there writing, filming. I'm just going, "You're taking the piss."
Yeah, 100%.
I'm usually the one behind the camera.
No fair.
But back to the pace question, my answer to everyone, it's a conversational pace. So you can take that as you wish.
I mean,
That's walking. And slowly.
Well, mate, it's like when you're in a rush and you might have to get a quick bite to eat on the run type thing, and you're walking, like even that, like just try to eat while you're walking.
Mate,
like
it's an 8-minute walk from my house to the train. Sometimes I'm heavy breathing.
What's the longest you think you've ever run? Like,
I mean, at footy training back in the day, but I've never, like 10K, no, 5K, no way. I hate running it. It's just because it takes an emotional toll on me. Because the whole time in my head, I'm like, stop. So it ends up being like an hour of me just playing mind games with myself. In rugby training, it's fine.
Yeah.
But just going for a run, I've never been able to do it.
I mean, as you guys know, I've got a Siberian Husky, so I used to have to take him running all the time. So when I lived in Richmond, I had a 3K course, a 5K course, and a 10K course. So the 5 and the 3 I did quite regularly, but the 10 was like, if I jumped on the scales and went, off you go, 10K, time to hit the reset button. But I haven't done that since COVID, basically, and now I'm trying to get back into it.
Well, let me also say that this Siberian Husky that Jared mentions is the biggest husky I've ever seen. It doesn't. You don't take it for a walk; it walks. It was. We took care of it one time, and it was just.
And what happened to him? Where'd you find him on a Saturday night?
This is. You know how Nicole, you've got friends. And you do something, it might be an accident, or something happens, and you're like, this may well be the end of this friendship as it is. We had a party at ours, and I mean, this dog is just, I had to put him in my room.
I think I was at that party.
He has to be around people. He's a people dog.
Yeah, but I mean, and Jared will back this up with his dog. He's annoying as hell when he wants to be around people. He's so annoying. Anyway, so then we put him upstairs. We put him upstairs in my mate's Dino's room. Anyway, I'm sitting there telling a story, and you love how much I love to, you know how much I love to tell a story, and I don't like to be interrupted, obviously. And Jay comes in, and Jay goes, "Jim, Rory's on the roof," and I'm just like, obviously think he's taking a piss. I'm like, "Shut up!" And midway, he goes, and he grabs me. He goes, "Not screwing around here, mate. I'll try to get his PG for you." He goes, "Not screwing around. He's on the roof." And so I go up and I look, and he's like pacing on like the second, not the actual proper roof, but the second, what would you call it, outside Dino's room, just like I guess it is a roof, really.
Yeah, so the roof on the first floor, essentially.
Yeah, and
so I mean, it's still what 2.5 meters.
Oh yeah, easy. And I just go, oh no. And the first thing in my mind is, Jared's going to kill me. Oh. And I mean, like, there's not many things in this world I think he loves more than me. But this husky might be up there.
Look, I as you said, I know he's a good boy, but he lacks a bit of brain power, and he's had a good run. So I wouldn't have able to. Nah, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm joking.
I was more concerned about as well. Like, there were so many people there, and I'm thinking they think that we just put this massive. What does he weigh? Like, he's
about 50 kilos. Yeah. So like he if he gets up on his hind legs, he's probably Jimmy's height.
Yeah,
wow.
He's massive. And Jay's sitting there with this like grand scheme of like putting tons of pillows and like lowering down. I'm going, mate, I can't do this physically. So we're trying to like push him through this window before all the neighbours look out and see this huge husky raving down on a roof like this dire wolf just going down. And there's me and him, like weighs more than me, just trying to shit him. So I've got a bit off track there, but so yeah. Well, I'm glad that the it's a nice was it conversational pace?
Conversational pace. Yeah. What I find really interesting is like whenever there's someone new there, I'm like, how did you find out about this? And recently, I've had 2 people say, "Oh, ChatGPT told me." How random.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm in ChatGPT's good books.
That might be, yeah.
But mostly it's like word of mouth. So friends telling friends, or they might see it on Aussies in London, and it's nice that we've sort of done that collaboration as well, which is great. And yeah, I just think like I was at a party I want to say a couple months ago at the start of the year. And this girl turns to me and she goes, do you know, because it was her birthday, she was like, everyone here is friends from the Run Club. And if I didn't turn up, I wouldn't have had these first friends.
Oh, that's
London.
awesome.
That's nice.
So
And she said, they're here because of you. And I was like, that there in itself just reminded me as to why I do it.
Yeah.
I can't run, but that's why I do it.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I turn up every Saturday. It is a commitment.
That is a huge commitment. Actually. I think that's probably overlooked.
Yeah,
Every Saturday morning.
Yeah, it's a commitment, but I mean, obviously, it's having a positive impact on people's lives and their time in London. We talked about in a previous episode the importance of networking and joining clubs. So
community, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I think we're like just on to the next question. We've spoken a lot about challenges that we face when you move to London. We've all done it. What do you think is the biggest challenge for you? Maybe the Run Club.
Okay, good question. I think London is so fast paced. Like there's noise everywhere. Like I remember when I first got here, I used to laugh at people that, I catch the Central Line every morning to work and people were running for the Central Line, even though it comes every 2 minutes. And I realised a couple months ago that I had become one of those people that run for the tube. And I think it's really important to take a step back sometimes in London and take time out for yourself just because of how fast-paced it can be. I mean, we were even in Manchester earlier this week and I, again, get out of the station like, shit, it is so quiet here. And I think that's also why I love going back to Australia for Christmas and just getting recharging my battery essentially to last another 12 months here.
Yeah.
So I think London being very fast-paced is one thing and taking the time out to reflect. I think my first 6 months here when I was still sort of, getting used to my first full-time job or, also finding a nice place to live. I think those two things are so important because they make up so much of your time, right? So you kind of have to get that right. And yeah, I think I sort of struggled with, I think being away from family. I think I'm so close to my parents. My brother was also, he had his nephew that had just been born and I sort of felt like I was kind of missing out on that. So I probably romanticised Perth a little bit more than I should have. But time away from family. But I think I've been really lucky in the fact that my parents have made an active effort to come out this way. And I always if there is something, negative about London, I'll try sort of think about what the positive is. And I think for me at this age is if I stayed in Perth, I'd never go to Greece with my mum or travel with my dad like that. But I'm actually having the best time doing that and the fact that they're coming out here. And I also think it's really important that you have something to look forward to as well. That's what's kept me going.
I think that's huge. I mean, just going on to what you said, your mum was just out here. I know.
Yeah, my parents were here.
I've been incredibly lucky that last summer I was really lucky, got to travel around with my auntie, uncle, mum, all around the UK. I think that's a huge thing. If you've got some people that can give you something to look forward to,
definitely.
We're coming over for summer, or because you don't always want to just go. I love the idea about going home, recharging your batteries, but you also love the idea about them coming over here and you make new experiences that aren't just at home.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly. You know what I
and
mean?
even when your friends come here as well, and showing them around and showing them your life, it's something special.
I think even when Mum came over recently, and she sent me a really nice message. After it, and she just said, she just goes, don't even think about coming back home. She goes, your community, your friends, have literally reminded me what life's all about. And I was like, that's such a sweet message to receive. But it's interesting because I think a lot of people do feel, I feel at times as well, like you said, your brother's you've just had his kid.
Yeah.
And so we feel a bit guilty at times about being over here.
Just missing those moments.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember there was the first time I was back, one of my uncles made a comment. It wasn't a bad comment, but just about, with the grandparents saying a proper goodbye or something, just because you never know what's going to happen. There's so many contingencies in life. And I remember saying I felt a bit bad. So I went to Dad and I go, Dad, should I feel bad about, moving over the other side? And Dad just goes, shut up. He goes, he's serious. I'm like, I'm a bit away from the family. He goes, mate, said the sweetest thing. He goes, mate, every single day I wish you were back here because I miss you. He goes, but every single day I'm so glad you're over there living your best life. And he goes, can't wait to see you because he came over the following year. And so I think it's nice to have that reminder and be vocal with your parents and stuff or with your family. But I mean, yeah.
I think I can definitely relate to you because when I first moved over here, my mum came in the first 6 months, and then she recently came when I was like 2 years in, and she came to one of our work events as well, and she really saw what keeps me here. And she even came to the run club as well. It was so cute that I walked that with her, and I made sure the cafe was in Hyde Park as well. But she just saw the life that I'd made for myself here, and I felt really happy that she was able to see that, and she knows what keeps me here. And it sort of made me more calm about being here as well. Same thing with my dad. So yeah, can definitely relate.
I think with me and my family, we try to alternate. So I kind of went back. I think I went back after 13 months, and then I had a wedding to go to later that year. So I did two trips within 12 months, and then I didn't go back for about 3 years. I went back just before COVID, and then obviously with COVID, you couldn't travel. So then my parents came over just post-COVID, and that's when we kind of said, all right, well, I don't want to have those big 3-year gaps where I don't see you guys. Obviously, you've got, FaceTime and all that kind of thing, but actually seeing people, you kind of like, after a long time, you kind of like, oh man, I've missed so much. Yeah. Now we kind of alternate. My parents were here just recently. We were over there last year. I think the other idea we're floating is meeting somewhere in the middle. So we talked about having a holiday in Japan next year or the year after. So
I'll be unreal.
What's the quickest amount of time you spent back? The shortest?
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Because we had the Easter break, and my brother's wedding was on. I spent the whole 2 weeks getting the property ready for my brother's wedding, and then the wedding was on the Saturday, and I had to fly out the Sunday, and brother and new sister-in-law went downtown, and everyone was gone at midnight. I'm sitting there ready to charge, and I was the one that had the flight the next day at 11. I was fuming. I spent 2 weeks just getting this whole property.
2 weeks is 2 weeks is the floor. Like, I mean, I think perfect amount of time for me is 3 weeks because it just goes so quick because you got so many people to catch up with. One question you kind of talked about homesickness. So I never really felt it until COVID. I think everyone was outside and we were in the middle of a lockdown during the winter, and you see social media, everyone's at the beach having barbecues, all that kind of stuff. So, I think that time of year, that kind of January to March period is where I kind of feel it the most. But when I do go home and I've had that recharge, as you spoke about, I then can't wait to get back to London. How do you feel like when you go back?
I'm definitely the same. Like, I remember whenever I'm in Australia, I'm then messaging all my friends that are in London being like, when's our next trip? Let's go here, let's go there. So yeah, I think my first time when I went back to Perth, I had just done 12 months in London, and I think that really reinforced to me I had made the right decision. Like, London is where I need to be. I think because I make an effort to go back, I think, because of my nephew as well growing up. But the second time around, it was more just Perth's not changing.
Exactly.
Everyone's still going to be there. And I think maybe because I'm still quite young in that journey, I'm still not finding that I'm missing out on, weddings or babies being born and things like that. For me, it's more family focused.
Yeah, and back home doesn't change, but London, when you think about it, especially in the communities we're in, it changes a lot. Oh, yeah. So, which can...
It is a quite transient city. I think this year was my first year where I've had friends go back to Australia, and it literally feels like, something's missing. There's a missing piece. Does, I might segue into how I filled that void, actually. Jimmy hosted the...
He looks nervous.
Yeah. He's like, no. It's so fine. It's so fine. It was... It was really random. It's actually so random, but me and my friend love telling this story. So I did have a friend that went back to Australia, and she was like my go-to friend, right? And I went to one of Jimmy's dating events that he hosted. And I met a girl called Ruby. And so now when...
Oh, is that where you met?
We met at the...
Oh, my God.
And so now whenever we're out together, and they're like, oh, so, how did you guys meet? I'm like, well, we met at a dating event.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think even just making friends here is, I don't know, there's a really special thing just because it takes a certain person to, I think, move to London. I don't know, I feel like I'm quite like an outgoing social person, and those are the type of people that would probably move over.
Yeah.
And I just love the fact us Australians just say yes to things. There's, again, some of my first friends here, within like a day of knowing them, I was like, hey, do you want to go to Amsterdam together? Do you want to go to Morocco? Even one of my friends, Claire, we were running at Run Club. I probably met her once before that. And I was like, what are you doing on the Easter break? She's got, I have no plans. What about you? And I was like, well, I want to go to Morocco. She goes, well, I'll come. This was all over a run when I was actually talking and not exhausted. You just can't explain that to people back in Australia, like that sort of lifestyle.
It's like-minded people. Like all the Aussies and Kiwis that move over here are looking for the same kind of thing. Like, I think you said earlier that you didn't want to walk down that street every day, and
St. George's Terrace.
and I was the same. I felt like I was spinning the wheels a bit. You come over here, meet like-minded people, and you go off and you have adventures. But just out on that topic of you meeting Jimmy, I think we established just before we kind of came on the air that you and I have met before, and I think Jimmy, you wanted to tell this story, have your moment in the sun.
I'd actually like to hear from the perspective of Nicole as an outsider to this father-son relationship. To see someone who may as well be the weight of Jared's left leg.
Well, it was okay. So it was the night of your mum's comedy show, and it was the venue in Vauxhall, which you guys sort of said before had all the punching machines. Jared gives it a good hard.
It was a nice punch. Wasn't it?
It was a good.
Because as soon as you guys started alluding to it, it's suddenly like.
You remember because you thought we had met. No, you didn't realize we had met. But
I thought I reckon.
I knew exactly where we had met before.
No. So when I walked in, I was like, I feel like I've seen you before. Obviously, I've seen you post on Aussies in London and things like that. But then as soon as my little friend over here started alluding to it, the image. I remember kind of punching it and then turning around and you were standing there, and I was
like,
"What a shot!"
Like, I was like.
Fatty board.
And then
still got it.
I think you then paid like £1 for me to have a go, and I wanted to have a crack.
Yeah.
Didn't get anywhere close to what you got. Then Jimmy has a go, and we're like, I mean, I didn't really have.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm used to being swept under the rug.
But you surprised us. You surprised us girls. You had like 3 girls cheering for you. We were wowed, is what we were.
But let's be clear though. Those
Jimmy.
Jimmy, the machines measure arm speed and not power. Let's just be clear on that.
Yeah, but see, this is what annoys me about you, Jade. You come in here with all this factor, right?
It sounds like you've been thinking about this a fair bit, mate.
What's the formula for force? It's mass times acceleration.
Well,
you've got the mass.
That's velocity.
What?
Go on.
No, it's not. Force is mass times acceleration.
Okay, a science teacher.
He's the teacher, I'm
not going to argue.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I'm accelerating, but there's mass involved as well, mate. So they even each other out. What that machine says is I generate more force than you.
Wow.
That's what I'm.
No.
Barry, so what is that? That's.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to take a loss on this one, big fella.
There needs to be something pushing back. There needs to be something pushing back. So
it's not a
it's
there.
There's resistance behind it.
Okay, just take my word for it. Don't listen to the science teacher.
As I said, you got to
anyway, moving on. Moving on. As we kind of said in previous episodes, we want to kind of cover a topic each time we release a podcast, and this episode's topic is going to be visas. So I think we've all got. We've all been pretty much on different visas. We've all kind of got here through different routes. So, Nicole, what visa did you come on, and what information can you give anyone aspiring to come over on said visa?
Especially to think about this as well, because when you fellas came over, the youth mobility would have been so much cheaper than it is now as well.
I'm not sure, because obviously I came over on a spousal visa. So
I'm pretty sure mine was like $100.
Really?
Or $100.
When did you move? Sorry.
2013.
I'm starting to see these visas.
When the world started. No, but yeah, that I could be off the mark, but it was not, and I paid like someone to do it for me.
It wasn't a massive expense.
It wasn't a massive expense.
Yeah.
So did you come on work visa?
So yeah, I came on a 2-year visa
Okay.
first,
Okay.
and it was a strictly 2-year visa at that time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I applied for mine at the end of 2022, and at the time, this is me, my worky talk, but the Australia-UK Free Trade Agreement had just been signed, but not entered into force. And it entered into force in May 2023. And so I sort of knew that this free trade agreement was being negotiated, and it meant that the youth mobility visa would transition from 2 years into 3. But it was interesting because at the time I was like, I'll commit myself to 2 years and then I'll see what happens. And 2 years in, I feel like you're literally just like getting to know London.
Yeah.
You know, it's so great that they've actually extended that to 3, because I think now I'm feeling this like sense of comfort and feeling like, you know, you walk down the street and you're going to know someone, which is really cool to say in London. But yeah, and so, I mean, I extended mine, well, maybe I should say when I paid for the 2 years, I completely blocked out how much it cost. I tried not to think about that. So I actually don't know. People ask me and I'm like, I cannot remember.
It's the healthcare levy. The
surcharge,
What like?
When I extended mine through the skilled worker, and
I think it was like £1,000 at least.
Yeah.
To extend for one more year. So I think 2 years would probably be a little bit more than that.
I did 4 years up front, because if you did the 2 years and you wanted to leave, you could get a refund on the other 2. But the health surcharge is the most. But I think I paid in total for everything, I think it was about 3.8k.
But you're
up front.
Ancestry though, aren't you?
Skilled worker.
Skilled worker.
Oh, because a teacher.
Which is a loose term.
Very.
We're all on different visas though. But I remember for mine, so I extended mine, I want to say this time last year, for the extra year. But there was a lot of people that were sort of called out between if they came here or if their 2 years ended around between January and May, and they had to go back. I don't know if you've seen posts like that on Aussies in London, where some people fell into the trap of not being able to extend their visa because the 2 years.
Anyway,
it's
a
hopefully that makes
situation.
sense. But I think I got really lucky that I was able to. Like, I think about that, I'm like, I am.
Yeah.
And can I just say as well, being Australian, like I've realised what a privilege it is to be Australian because of the fact that you can actually move overseas. So, you know, whether that's to New Zealand, to Canada, to the UK. We have that because of our passport. Yeah, and I also notice as well, like even just travelling, we're able to freely move around.
Absolutely.
And that's something I don't think we should take for granted.
No, and even when you go to like when I go to a hostel or something like that, and you know you open your mouth, you immediately have people go, "Oh, Aussie," and they're more accepting and stuff. It's just you feel so accepted. The Kiwis the same.
I was going to say, to all the Kiwis out there, our passport's just as good, if not better. If you go to Turkey, I remember when I went to Gallipoli, for some reason, the Kiwis you didn't have to line up. It was honestly going through that airport.
So you've got a Kiwi passport?
Yeah, I don't have an Aussie one.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So he just
I don't know that.
With the New Zealand representation just got a slight bit stronger on the show.
I'm not Joe Lomu. I'm just I mean, that's not a good example. He's going, but
I reckon you should shave the hair like Joe
I did. Oh, mate, I have to get it. I had a frullet when I was 9. I was obsessed with Joe Lomu. Somehow my mum let me get this little frullet.
I've never heard the term frullet in my before.
You try going to Lismore.
The thing is, I too had a frullet.
Nicole just go, Lismore? I wouldn't have signed up to this podcast.
I want to say that's one of the things though, and I think to your point as well, like I think moving here has made me realise what it means to be Australian as well. So, I mean, I was born in Bulgaria, and so my parents, they immigrated to Australia when I was only 1. So that's why I have
Australia's Dua Lipa.
Oh,
she's like Romanian.
I love that quote. She's Albanian.
Yeah, that's actually Albanian. Yeah,
I want to say it from Kosovo.
Yeah.
But I'll take that.
I'm like
she's my girl crush. Like,
from Australia's Manny Pacquiao.
I've heard it all.
Turn it up.
Stop the show.
What was I saying? Anyway.
You've got a fan? Nice bath.
Turn up the heat. Well, it's interesting as well, like, when you were talking before about the turnover friends and you have friends leaving for, I want to touch on this as well because, I mean, you boys have been here, 12 years, 10 years? Or?
Well, this is 11, year 11, so December will be 11.
But you would have seen so many mates come and go. And I think we've talked about now, like for you, I haven't talked to you about this, Barry, But for you, Jared, as well, like with the family and everything, like it must be so exhausting at times trying to make new.
Yeah, you kind of restart the process. But I think in the last couple of years, I'm kind of been content with just having you. Baz. so I mean, but the thing for me,
must be the Kiwi passport.
Yeah,
it's really bad holes in there. Right?
I think the thing for me now with having the kids, I'm in a different stage of life. So I've got all the dads from school and coaching the football team. Especially on a Thursday night training, they're literally lined up along the sideline, just laughing at me while I try to round up their daughters. So yeah, I think when I first moved over, it was tough because you do form close bonds with people, and then you've got to say goodbye. I think it was particularly tough when some of those guys had to leave because of COVID. People that I'd been mates with for 5 or 6 years suddenly upped and left. But I guess the positive side to that is that when you go home, you now have friends all over Australia and New Zealand.
I love that. I love that so much. Yeah, I mean, that's something that I've thought about. So I feel like if I'd stayed in Perth, me even meeting just someone from Sydney would be quite random, you know. Yeah. But here, I think I know more about what it means to be Australian, but also know more about Australia by living in London, which is so interesting. But like I've met people from Orange in New South Wales, and now I know that's a wine region.
Part of the world.
Yeah. So I mean, and I'm yet to visit, but I just hear so much more and meet so many people from all across Australia. I think to your point, whenever I go back, I don't know when I'll go back, but when I do, it's going to be so amazing to know that I have had friends that I've shared this wonderful experience with.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
And it is a different bond. Yeah. So just on the visa topic, Baz, like what you came over, what kind of visa did you come over on?
Yeah, so I came over just on the youth mobility visa originally.
We're sure it's the youth mobility.
Yeah, it was. And then I've been able to go through a range of different visas, and now I've got settled indefinite leave to remain.
Right.
I'm eligible to get my passport, and I've done during the school holidays. I did the Life in the UK test and passed.
So okay,
wow.
So that's something.
Congrats.
I kind of taken the same path as you. Obviously, I had the spousal visa. I then had leave to remain, which got extended because of COVID because you couldn't. We were in lockdown. So, my BRP card had actually expired, but there was nothing that you could do about it. So once we were able to kind of get back into action, I then went for indefinite leave to remain, and I did the Life in the UK test. Now, I don't know what kind of strategy you took. I downloaded the app and I did it maybe 100 times, got to the point where I was getting 25 out of 25 in like 2 minutes flat. Like it was like a game.
I was exactly the same. I read the book and I was like, that was a waste of time. I did about 11 hours on the app, just doing it, and I didn't actually know any of the stuff. I just knew the question and the answer.
Yeah, just the memory.
So when I got in there, I remember I remember the day I went in there. I sit you down in this room, and there's this lady crying, and I'm thinking, what is doing? And she then starts to tell me that she's failed it 4 times.
Yeah,
and this is her 5th time. I'm thinking, oh gosh. And you get in this room, and there's people sitting everywhere, and like there was a bloke that went in 25 minutes before me. I went in. I must have finished it. And again, I didn't know the actual stuff. I just know the questions. And I know I must have finished it in 2 minutes. Well, 3 minutes.
My experience was a little bit different. So I did the app. I didn't get the book.
Jared was the bloke who was in for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Jared was the lady crying.
I mean, tears of embarrassment when I failed. So, I mean, I think the test is usually.
Did you fail?
So, hang on.
Yeah, where's the punch machine when you need it?
So,
2 things.
Oh, Lord.
So, usually these centres are set up in like education centres. The one I went to was an education centre somewhere out near the airport, and then you went upstairs and you line up and all this kind of stuff. So, I think we've got a bit of an advantage because we're English speaking. Like I think the people that were crying probably not
100%.
English speakers, and it's going to be tough for them. So I did the app, was acing it, like kind of like Duolingo, just smashing everything, but then I can't actually speak French. So I get in there. I get in there, and these questions pop up, and we're talking about English history back to the 9th century. Like you need to know a bit of everything. Like I think we're even talking like Stone Age, Bronze Age.
Yeah, 100%.
And I got a couple of questions, and I'm like, this wasn't in the app. and I think you've got to get an 80% to
No,
pass.
you get 75%.
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember. It's 25 questions, so you kind of know you've got 5 questions you can. So I got 5 questions wrong, so I walked out just going like cursing, going, what have I done? So went back, read the book end to end. So I at the time I knew a fair bit about British history, all about King Henry. I lived near Hampton Court Palace, so I know a bit about his history and him. You know, the him starting the Church of England so he could divorce his wives and all that kind of stuff instead of beheading them. But there was some really top bloke. I don't know if you've been to Hampton Court Palace.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Very nice. Obviously, we live there in the neighbourhood, so we go there a fair bit. And they've actually got a suit of armour, and he was a big guy, kind of like me. So back then, it would have been King Henry, like me, and then a bunch of Jimmies running around as his loyal subjects.
His little squires.
What would they
That was a bit of a broadside there. It's like,
yeah.
I just want to get back to it. I did so well on that test. I got to the last 2 questions. I just pressed NA.
Okay.
Big for nothing.
Kind of wish I didn't tell
Can
the
I
story.
finish it? Yeah, it's not finished. Doesn't matter. I'm passed.
So yeah, I got it on the second attempt. But what I would say to our listeners is just read the book. Just read the book.
I reckon you're gonna do both.
Well, see, funny you say this because my housemate is actually has done it today.
Oh, really?
And I saw these books sitting on the well, we still haven't really done the living room up at the coffee table. And I'm like, did this come with the house? It's like the landlord dropped this off or something. And then I started reading. It's just stuff that no Englishman or Englishwoman would know.
It is crazy.
I gave it to Charlotte. She did a colour practice test. She's getting 10 out of 25. It's stuff that.
Mate.
Is this your partner?
Yeah.
Is she English?
She's English.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So,
like most English people wouldn't know the questions. I think obviously it's randomised, it's multiple choice, so maybe you might get lucky and get a nice easy path.
I tell you what, when I first started studying, so her mother is a teacher as well. And she was ringing me up regularly, trying to quiz me on them, but I was embarrassed because I didn't know the questions that well at the start.
Yeah.
So I was like, when you look at the phone thinking, oh no, I'm going to be in trouble. I'm not going to know any of the questions. So just
Probably your mother.
We're talking like the suffragettes. I remember that, like the War of the Roses, all the kings throughout history and queens. Like it's insane.
War of the Roses was anyway. We'd have to get into that.
So yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. Indefinitely leave to remain. I am eligible to get a UK passport, and it's something that I've been putting off for a while because of the cost involved. So
yeah, I'm a bit the same.
It's another couple of grand, and I'm like, well, I don't need to, but with some of the news, the things that have been in the news lately with Reform UK and Nigel Farage saying he wants to abolish indefinite leave to remain, I think that I might just have to get it.
I think eventually as well, thinking about the podcast, we would like to have something on our page, whatever it is, where you could have frequently asked questions. Now I know they've got a heap of that on the Aussie stuff and the Kiwi stuff, but after we've done an episode on certain topics, it might be a good idea going forward.
Yeah. How to hit a punch machine or
how not to fail. How not to fail. I mean, you won't be able to write
proper
how not to fail.
Proper technique for a punch machine and preparation for the Life in UK test.
So hearing this, Nicole, and your experience in London, do you foresee yourself staying here? I mean, it's a really big question to put you on.
Yeah.
But I mean, you talk about London, you go home, and it's the same. We go home for a few weeks and just want to come back.
I know.
Get a Guinness.
Yeah. Oh, this is the $1 million question, isn't it? I don't know. And I think open-mindedness brought me to London. And I want to say open-mindedness will take me somewhere else as well. I feel like living here has made me realise how amazing Australia is and, the standard and quality of living. And I feel like if I close my eyes and imagine myself buying a house, having a family, you can't pick your life, right? But I can imagine that in Australia. I'm nowhere near that stage in my life at the moment, but I'm actually a little bit if I think about it, I'm a little bit scared to get too comfortable here. I remember when I first moved, I was probably 2 months in thinking I'd be here for 2 years, and I met someone, they were like, oh yeah, I was here for 2 years and now 20 have passed. And I don't know, that's a scary thought to me. I
always say it's quite strange, if I want to go back home, and I will hopefully will be going back home, but it's not would be a scary move to even go home now because this is home
I
now at the
completely
moment,
agree. I completely agree. And I think what I maybe might do, we'll see. Maybe we'll do a podcast in 12 months' time. But I'd love to say that, I probably, because I feel like this level of comfort here. And I feel like for me personally, this is where I'm going to hopefully make my impact with work and with the Run Club, and sort of feel like it's really important to, I think, leave a country and leave a company on your own terms. Say, this is my time, I'm done. Not be forced to by a visa ending or by being made redundant, all these things. I want to say, I feel like I'm done here. What's next? I'd love to travel for 12 months. I think anyone in their 20s between jobs, like that's such a rare time to be able
Jared
to.
Bassett, Jared, he's just travelled for it was about 10, 11 months. Or whatever.
And that's what I'd love to do. I'd love to say, okay, between me and this next big girl job, like I'd love to, travel for 12 months. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just open-minded, see where life takes me, and hope for the best.
I think my biggest fear is if I went home and then I didn't like it and I was bored. Because, they say if you're bored of London, you're bored of life, and that's my biggest fear, that I go home and I'm like, this isn't for me anymore. Yeah. So
what made you? Because when you moved over, did you have kids?
No. So, but my wife is English. We got married over here, and then we had our first child just before COVID.
Okay.
So, I'm properly established here now. I've got,
But it's interesting to touch on something you said earlier, Nicole. You said that border London, border life sort of thing, and you said it takes like 2 years really. And we were talking about this. I'm so glad you said it too, because we talked about this I think in the first one as well, first podcast. Like, people underestimate how long it takes to set up a community, and this is one of the reasons we wanted to start this podcast. Is to talk about.
Which, by the way, like, congratulations to you guys. Like, you'd love. I would personally love to hear people share their stories, because it is motivating, right?
Yeah.
And or relatable. Like, I think sometimes you just need to know that people do go through challenges, and life isn't all what you see on social media as well about living in London.
Yeah. But we might have to hold that congratulations, because the first episode hasn't aired yet.
Today,
sorry.
So if it busts.
I think on that topic, like one of your mates sent that really nice voice message to you, and he was like, "Well done for putting yourself out there." And I was telling I was telling my missus about it, and I was like, I don't even really think about it as putting myself out there. I just feel like we've got some stuff to share that might help other people.
I think hopefully we look back at it, we'll be proud of the work that we've done, or whatever. When it's
even whatever happens. But Cal, for context, Cal's my mate, who I saw in Spain recently for my mate Naughty's wedding, and he lives in Canada, and he just goes, the stuff you're talking about is so relevant to us. It was the whole idea behind Antipodean, opposite poles, and he goes, just listening to it is just so relevant to that. So it's evident that the stuff we talk about, I mean, London's on one end of the spectrum where it's just so hustle and bustle, so just massive, and such a, so much going on. But he's in, the ski fields in like a small town in Canada, but he's like, it still is relevant. Just on a scale, so, yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, I think we've got to wrap it up. We're running out of time on this particular episode. Nicole, thank you so much for joining us. You've given some great insight, and it's been awesome to hear about some of the things that you've done.
I have something for you guys as a little thank you.
First merch, we're famous.
My mum's so.
So
just a bit of a history lesson for you. So.
Oh wow.
Baz, obviously being Kiwi, Tim Tam.
I want to refer back to being Lismorian.
I also have a packet of Tim Tams for Mooch.
Do
you reckon you can catch it?
Oh my god!
Awesome. That's so kind of you.
A little taste of home. But thanks so much
come back.
for having me.
Come back
anytime. I know my mum brought sweet FA.
So I guess just to wrap things up, like we've said in previous podcasts, if you, like Nicole, have something that you can bring to the table about your experiences in London, please reach out. We'd love to speak to you. Obviously, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you can also watch on YouTube, and we're also looking to broadcast on other platforms. And obviously, don't forget our socials. We're getting up a lot of content. Obviously, the boys have dropped some content around NRL Grand Final. And I think that went pretty well. So we might look to get to some other events and kind of keep interviewing the punters out there.
Well, there's a singles night on November 6th, but both of you might not fit the. Do you reckon Charlie'd be?
I'll ask permission.
I've got to go to interviews. I swear.
It's work related. But thanks again. And,
thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
No, awesome. You absolutely smashed it. The nerves are a bit calm now.
Yeah, they've calmed down a little bit.
And
First potty done.
First potty done. And to the Aussies and Kiwi experts out there, our fellow antipodes, we'll be back again shortly. So thank you for listening. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Cheers.